guys? It's Tom from Tech Time here, and I'm back with another video. Today we are going over this phone right here. To some of you, this may look like the Samsung Galaxy S8 or even the LG G6, but no, this is the LG V30, the successor to the LG V20, but yet looks nothing alike. So for years, the LG has always been willing to break and push borders. They came out with a dual camera system, and that's stuck around. They've implemented a wide angle. That's also stuck around. They've done a lot of things, and then the V line has always been the phone to compete with the Galaxy Note series. Minus the stylus, it had a dual screen. You had a second screen on the top that normally came right there on the LG V10 and the LG V20. With this model right here, you do not get that. It's something they have taken away from the V series, and I think that is a huge, huge mistake in my eyes. That was the telling feature and separating point from the V series to any other phone, especially to the G line from LG. Right now, all you have is an all-screen OLED G7 in my eyes, or G6 Plus is what you could call this. This, in my eyes, is not a V-series phone, and I'm going to get into why. We're going to go over a bunch of things, and just want to let you know, this is my opinion on the phone. May not make some of you guys happy, but that's just how I feel on the phone. And at the end of it, you can gather from what I've given you and make your own decision on that. So, with no further ado, let's get into the real review. So let's get into a quick overview of the specs. This thing on paper is a beast, just like most top flagships this year. This comes with a 6-inch 14 by 40, 28 by 80 resolution 2K P OLED screen, which is LG's version of the OLED. From what I know, most OLED screens have some sort of plastic in them, so I don't know what the P or plastic stands for, but that's just what they call it and how they implement their version of the OLED on a mobile phone. And it is a really nice screen. It does what it needs to do, really nice colors. I don't have the same issues that the Google Pixel XL2 has been having. If you don't know, LG and Google partnered. LG manufactured the Google Pixel XL2, and there's been a lot of problems with the screen. If you didn't know it, and even to the average consumer, most people don't have any issue with the Google Pixel 2 XL screen. And with this one right here, I don't have any issues coming from the Galaxy Note 8. It doesn't get as bright, and at low brightness, it's not as good either. But overall, it's a decent screen. You also get the Snapdragon 835 with 4 gigabytes of RAM. I would have loved to see 6 in this, being the V series, step it up over what you offer on the G line, but they didn't. You have a 3300 milliamp hour battery, and that is on par with most flagships this day and age. You have a dual rear camera, 16 megapixels and 13 megapixel, and one is wide, one is regular field of view. You have your flash, and you have your phase auto detection. You have up here a microphone, a headphone jack, and this is a 32-bit quad DAC headphone jack. You can also record audio at 24 bits, which is really good. You have a microphone down here, a single mono firing speaker, which is nothing to brag about, and a USB Type-C charging port. You have some antenna bands. Over here, you got your SIM and micro SD card slot. You got your fingerprint sensor on the back, which also doubles as your power button. You know, it works fairly well. There's a little bit of a delay in between it, but for the most part, it works pretty good. It's a little, I don't know. The button could be a little harder, maybe, I guess, but it works. Your volume rocker keys right here in metal, and they have a nice feel to them. So pretty much a premium built phone. As you can tell, there's fingerprints all over it. So give me a second and I'll wipe those off. Okay, let's get back into the phone. This is running the T-Mobile network, and it has the 600 megahertz band, which is a big thing that T-Mobile's pushing out. And right now, I believe besides the T-Mobile Revel Plus, this is the only phone on the network to do that. So if you have T-Mobile, that's an option. If you plan on keeping the phone for a while and future-proofing your phone, this is a good phone to pick up. It also has, single SIM, or you can run a hybrid dual SIM, and then you can also run a micro SD card in there, expandable, I believe up to, I think 256 gigs. You also have Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and the back, which is shatter resistant, really good shatter resistance, but it's not too good at scratch resistance. So you're going to want to slap a case on this thing, and you're going to want to slap a screen protector on it. You also have the 18:9 aspect ratio on this. The LG G6 came out earlier this year and was, in my eyes, really the pioneer to really set it off mainstream for this near bezel design 18:9 aspect ratio. There is the Xiaomi Mi Mix. I believe it was one of the first phones to actually implement it. Wasn't the best implementation of it, and I think Sharp did something a couple years ago, and that went pretty much down the toilet because Sharp didn't do too good selling their phones. So the LG G6 really set it off this year, and everybody's followed suit. Unfortunately for LG, they don't market their phones too well, and they really don't stand out from the crowd, so they kind of just get lost in the mix. It's good for consumers because the price normally drops really quick, and you can pick up a used G6 right now probably for $200, $250, which is a pretty solid phone. This thing has HDR10 on it, Dolby Vision. You also get always on display because of the OLED screen, and they implement one of the nicest always on displays that you'll find on a phone. You can put a picture here. There's a bunch of different options you can do. I believe you can download some other ones. Like I said, run a specs on the camera. You got a dual 16 megapixel camera. It's actually not, it's a dual camera, one 60 megapixel, one 13 megapixel. We'll get into that more. You got a 5 megapixel on the front. You got the 32-bit DAC headphone. It's B&O Plate certified. You can also record 24-bit, 48 kilohertz audio recording. You got active noise cancellation with a dedicated mic. You got Bluetooth 5.0, which is pretty good for better connection. And you can also simultaneously hook up two devices through the Bluetooth. So that's pretty cool. You get an FM radio band in this. You get the rear-mounted fingerprint sensor, like I said. You get fast charging. It's actually quick charging 3.0, Qualcomm. You get wireless charging with the glass body. Other than that, that is about it for specs. So let's get into the phone itself, the design and build. If you're used to LG V-series phones, you're used to a rugged build. You're used to metal. You're used to, on the V10, you had a Duraskin back. The V20, you had a metal back. And both were removable, and you could replace the battery. On this phone, that is not an option. This is a sealed glass-on-glass phone with an aluminum band around the outside. And that's unfortunate. For me, everybody's going with the glass phones. Yeah, they look good. But for me, they're not practical. I slap a case on them, so I never see the glass anyways. So it's just a waste. That money could be put into something else, like front-facing speakers, or really anything else, because I don't care about the glass back. A lot of people may, and then they'll see people will probably slap a case on their phone. So I don't really know how much you care about it. Looks great in the store when you buy it. Looks great when you get it home. You hold it for about 2 seconds, and you get fingerprints all over it. Me, personally, I'd rather have the removable back with a metal back. I don't care about wireless charging. It's not a big thing to me. I can live without it. But to each their own. Some people love the wireless charging, and you need this. If not, you have to implement some kind of a case, like something that would plug in here, and then it would wirelessly charge through the case. And those were on, prior phones. You could do that. But this does not, to me, look like the design and build like a V-series phone. the V series separated itself from everybody else by having the second screen, having a metal build, having a rugged build, and this doesn't do it. This is just run-of-the-mill, standard, this year. Is it a nice looking phone? Yes, it's a gorgeous looking phone, but it's not anything special. It really isn't. It's just plain fingerprint magnet glass back. You got a camera hump, which I don't really like. I'd rather the phone be thicker and slap a bigger battery in it, but that's what it is. That's what you get. And they obviously were scared with the G5, not doing, try to push boundaries with their G5. This year they came in G6, played it safe, went with the, 18:9 aspect ratio. That was pretty cool. They kind of pushed the boundaries there, going mainstream with that, and it followed suit with everybody else. But they did not break any borders or boundaries with the V30. In my eyes, they should have kept the second screen. If you want to implement it down the bottom, or if you want to do something different, you could have done it. Now they implement something called the floating bar. It gives you a little tab over here that you can open up, and you got, similar things that you had on the second screen, but it's not nearly as groundbreaking or helpful. If I got a freaking bar here and the app's here, why wouldn't I just hit the app instead of going through the bar and scrolling through? In my eyes, it doesn't make any sense. I like this because when the phone was off, you could use it. When the phone is off, you cannot use that floating bar. So it is useless, where the second screen was not useless in my eyes. You also, the design and build, like I said, it's nothing crazy, but it does still get the rugged MIL STD 810 standards, which is a military standard. They do, I think, 26 tests, and you have to pass so many of them. This passed 14, I believe, out of the 26 or 25 tests. They test humidity, shockproof, I think salt tests, drop tests, a bunch of stuff. So that got you that standard. You can look up online and figure out which 14 tests it passed. They could be tests that don't really matter to you, and most likely that is the case. But it still got that standard. The V10 and I believe the V20 also had that military grade standards, and they passed those tests also. Probably a little higher on those phones. And this is also IP68 water and dust resistant, which is good. You can take it for, a splash in the pool if you really want to. Me personally, because they are not warranted for water. If you get water damage, they will not warranty the phone. So you throw your phone in the pool, or you want to take an underwater picture with this thing without some kind of waterproof case on it, you are taking a risk, and I would not take that risk with an $800 phone. Getting into the software, you got the LG UX 6.0 with Android 7.1.2 Nougat. Hopefully going to be upgrading to Android Oreo. This has Nova Launcher over it, so it's a little bit different than the typical LG UI. But what you see, these colors and everything, I'm sure people will ask, this is a theme from LG. It is called the Neon Box theme. So that allows, all this stuff right here to be changed, all these boxes, all your icons up here are blue. It's pretty cool. You go into your dialer and your messages, things are changed there also. So it's pretty cool. It throws a theme on, and it also throws this right here. This little wallpaper you see, the little pipes and stuff in the background, that is part of the theme. I like it. I like the different colors. I definitely like the blue up here, and it also changes your text and stuff like that. So I like that. To me, that works out. The LG UX 6.0, I don't mind LG UI that they put on it. Some people absolutely hate LG's UI. To me, it's not really not that bad. Come on, boy, focus. Yeah, there we go. They do give you a lot of tutorials this time around in the settings when you're going through things, but they have a lot of settings. You got all your standard stuff. You get your sounds, your notification, your display, your home screen, your lock screen. You can do face unlock with this phone. If you guys do not know about it, you can do face unlock. If that's something you guys are interested in learning more about, hit me up in the comments and let me know. You can also do face unlock with the LG G6 that I'm filming this on. So if you guys are interested in either one of those, learn on how to do that, leave a comment in the comment section. On this phone, it's a little bit easier to do. On the LG G6, it's a little bit more hidden. You get the floating bar. That's what I was telling you about. I can take a look at that. So this is your floating bar. Done. Let's pop this baby open. And that is your little floating bar. Sorry about this focus. It is terrible right now. I don't know why. It is focusing so bad. Oh my God. There we go. There's your floating bar. It is nothing special. And there's really no reason for it, in my personal opinion. I don't use it. I like the second screen. So that is that. Let's get into, and it does this weird stuff. I don't know if it's because I'm running a Lenovo launcher, but sometimes it's in a list view, and then I'll hit back, and then I get into this. This is a little weird quirk. I don't know why it does it, but it does. Sounds and notification. You can change everything. Your vibration strength, your do not disturb, what you see for notifications on your lock screen, your apps, your notifications, advanced settings, optimize sound quality for connected headsets or speakers with the hi-fi quad DAC, and then notification sounds, stuff like that. Display, home screen, lock screen, theme. That's what I was talking about earlier. The neon box, that's the theme I have, and you can download more through that download section right there. They have a lot of good themes, similar to like what Samsung does with their phones. The home touch buttons. You can switch them around. You can change the color. It's based on the theme right now. The font, you can change whatever font you want. You can download more. You can change the bold. You can app scale because of the 18:9 aspect ratio. A lot of phone apps are already optimized for it. And if they're not, you can optimize them and shoot through, and they'll tell you which one is 18:9, which one is 16:9, and so on and so forth. But you see that little, oh, now it's flowing fine. This LG software, we'll get into that in a second, has been giving me some issues. App scaling, display size, screen resolution. Similar to what Samsung done. Earlier this year, when they released the Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus, it came out of the box at 1080p. This one does come at the 28 by 1440 2K screen, but you can switch it to 1080p or all the way down to 720p, hit apply, which is good for battery. But this phone is okay with battery. Comfort view, takes some blue light out of it. Screen color, normal, best for movies, best for web, best for photos, and custom. I like the way it is normal, but you can change that around. Custom allows you to change the color temperature, the cooler, warmer, and then the RGB levels, the red, green, blue. You can change all that around to whatever suits your needs. Right here is your brightness, auto brightness. Auto brightness on this phone, in my opinion, is no good. Obviously auto brightness, when you're outside, it shoots up all the way. The phone doesn't get bright enough. You can see in direct sunlight, but it could be better. My problem is in dark rooms. When you go in dark rooms, it drops the brightness down to nothing, but then it kind of jumps up and down and the screen flickers. It's not good in low light. I don't know if it's the screen or it's just the auto brightness, but I've had the same issues with the auto brightness off. So yeah, there's some weird stuff that goes on in the dark with this screen. That's the only issue I've really noticed with the screen. Other than that, it's been fine. Sometimes it could be because of the auto brightness. Other times it just does little weird stuff in the dark. Always on display, like I said, they have a great always on display. You can pick your content, what's on there. And they have a lot of options. You can choose a photo down here. You can choose your name, signature. You can, there's a bunch. I like this. And see how it's red right there? Because of my theme, it is now blue. That is pretty cool. You can turn this, set it on. You can make it brighter if you want. LG makes one of the best always on displays. Good for them. And then you got more. You got your knock on, your screensaver, your mini view, stuff like that. This is your general, your language, your keyboard. I use a different keyboard. I use Go keyboard. That is my favorite. I text in T9, which may sound crazy to some of you. It's old school, like you text on a flip phone. But T9, it helps spell the words. To me, I can text super fast, one-handed with that. Obviously, it's not for everybody, but hey, that's what I do. And then I have a button that can switch me between a big regular full keyboard and back to the T9 keyboard. So I use Go keyboard. I do not use the keyboard that comes with it. Location, accounts and sync, cloud, accessibility, shortcut keys, Google services, fingerprint and security. That's where you put your fingerprints in. You can set up SIM card lock, unknown sources, allow installation from stuff other than the Google Play Store. I have that on. Then you got your floating bar, and then they got a gaming thing here. Get more out of your gaming by tapping Game Tools icon of the game. You tap that, and that allows you to optimize certain games, break time, reduce brightness and performance whenever you leave the game running for more than 5 minutes. That's if you're not playing it. Game graphics. You can change the frame rate and stuff, which is pretty cool. That is, stuff that you would see on a computer, stuff like that, and that works out pretty good. Storage. You do have 64 gigabytes of onboard storage and a memory card. I'm using 42 gigabytes right now, and my memory card is damn near full. What else? Battery and power saving. Battery works pretty good. Memory, smart cleaning is pretty cool. You can optimize your phone. You can test hardware. You can check your battery usage and do battery saving in this if you want. I like the optimizing. That's pretty cool. Backup and reset and everything else. This setting right here, it's called Smart Settings. This is a great feature that LG implements. Other phones have something similar called adaptive Wi-Fi. Doesn't work as well as this. This works really good. So you see what it says at home, turn Wi-Fi on. When you get home, you turn the Wi-Fi on, you put your Wi-Fi in, and now every time you come home, based on your location, it will turn your Wi-Fi on automatically. When you leave your home, it will turn your Wi-Fi off if that's what you want it to do. For me, I like it to do that so it's not searching for Wi-Fi networks as I'm driving down the street. Then you can also, when your earphones are plugged in, select an app to auto open, and when your Bluetooth device is connected, you can select an app to auto open. So those are all the features. Smart Settings, that is a feature I highly recommend. That is a feature I love on the LG UI. It's one of, just a really good feature. So getting into the quirks of the UI, it does give me some issues. I get lag. I've had some app crashes. It does things that I haven't had issues with other flagships phones this year. I don't know if it's the 4 gigabytes of RAM. I don't know if it's optimized well. Even the LG G6 that I'm filming on right now, I have not had the same issues that I've had with the LG V30. And the V30 has a Snapdragon 835, where the LG G6 has a Snapdragon 821. So the 835 should be doing, justice and should not have any issues. My Galaxy Note 8 flew. My Galaxy S8 from Samsung did have a couple little quirks, but that was Samsung's issue. I know it because with the 60 gigabytes of RAM and the way the Galaxy Note 8 was optimized, that thing was like butter. But this phone has been giving me some issues. I have found some people recently that have had similar issues, but a lot of people, look at me like I'm crazy. And I've had some other key issues that really make me disappointed with this phone that will be coming up in a second. One more software thing that I want to get into is this is the year of assistants. And this does not have its own built-in assistant, but it does have Google Assistant built in. LG has not gone the route like Samsung and doing their Bixby. They have Google Assistant built in. What's the weather like?
Currently in Belmont, it's 31 with snow showers. Tonight, it's predicted to be 31 with snow. There is currently a winter storm warning.
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Right here. Do you see this button? That button allows you to keep these buttons down up, or you can make them disappear when you are not using them. Then you swipe up to get them. So that is a pretty cool feature of the UI. Let's get into... Oh, one other thing I want to talk about is on YouTube. When you're playing videos on YouTube, let's bring up YouTube. Let's look up a video quick for you guys. I'll just run a quick video for you, show you what the screen looks like, give you a sample of the whatchamacallit, the audio. The feature I want to show is right here. On the Samsung Galaxy Note 8, the S8 and the S8 Plus, there's a little button over here that allows you to crop to fit, and it zooms the video in so you don't get these black bars, and you can use the 18:9 aspect ratio to your advantage. You do lose a little bit of definition, but not a whole bunch. Let's see what we're at. We're only at 720p. Let's go to 1440p. And this has a really, really, really nice screen. It does. Brightness is, midway right here. You can go, that's about midway. And look at that. Really nice colors. The feature I wanted to get into is right here. Pinch to zoom. See that? How it filled the screen? Go back to original. Zoom to fill. See the difference? See the black bars right here? Pinch to zoom, and you have it. I don't know if everybody knows it or anybody knows it. Or maybe you all know it. Who knows? I figured I would throw it out there. This is a single mono firing speaker. It's nothing, that special. It gets loud. It is easily covered. And it's a little tingy for my liking, but that's what it is. Now let's get into the bread and butter of this phone. This is the V series. The V series has always been about content creation. V standing for video. It's what they tell you. In this case, the V does not stand for victory or video or anything like that, because the cameras, in my opinion, are not up to par. You're paying $800 for this phone, $830, and sometimes more depending on where you're getting it from, and the camera app lags. If you want to pick this phone up and grab your kid taking its first step, you will probably miss it, because this thing will take a while to load up and then it won't focus, and your kid will probably be blurry and you'll miss its first step. Yes, does it have a slew of manual features? Yes, it does. It has tons of features. This app is implemented one of the best. Feature packed. I love all the features. I love the manual controls. Similar DSLR like controls. You have them down here. You have your white balance, your autofocus, your ISO, your shutter speed. You have focus peaking. You see those green things right there? Let's see, right there you got the V30 in focus. Now that is a cool feature. It has a lot of features like that. Like I said, you have Cine Video, which gives you some, point to zoom, and it will zoom in that area that you pointed. That is pretty cool. It has a lot of cool features. It does. It has Match Shot, which does the front and rear camera at the same exact time. That is a cool feature. It has Guide Shot, where you take a picture and it overlays, like that, and then you can adjust things to get your photo just right, so you can take that same picture. You have time-lapse 360 panorama. You have manual video controls, which is really, really good. You have, grid shot, snapshot, slow-mo, panorama. Slow-mo on this phone is garbage, in my opinion. You have a 16 megapixel f1.6 aperture on this phone, which is supposed to be great in low light. I don't think it is. Does not have a good sensor, and it has small pixel size, so they do not draw in a lot of light. Yes, you have a wide aperture, but it does not draw in enough light through the pixels. They're very, very small pixels. In my opinion, that's what kills it. The sensors aren't that good, and they're using, I don't know, not the best hardware. You have a glass lens over the main camera, and then you have a wide angle. The wide angle is really, really cool. That allows you to see a whole bunch. I love the wide angle, and that is an f1.9 13 megapixel camera with a 120 degree field of view. There's no optical image stabilization on that wide angle, which there should be. And on the main camera, there is optical image stabilization. There's also laser phase autofocus, which does not work that good. Autofocus is not that good on this. You can shoot 4K at 30 frames per second, and then 1080p at 60 frames, 30 frames, 720, and the rest. The front camera is a 5 megapixel camera, and in anything but great light, it is trash. The one thing I can say is pretty decent on this phone is video. Video is decent. I'll give it that. It's pretty decent. It takes nice video. It's got decent dynamic range in the video, stuff like that. Video is good. But for still photos, especially in auto mode, it is not good at all. People have been fighting with me all over the internet about it when I leave comments about it. It's trash. I don't care. It just does not compete with flagships. So, there's mid-ranges that will crush this. I just don't think it's good still-wise. I don't think it is. Anything outside of good light, it's not good. Anything that you need to track and focus quickly, it does not catch it. Yeah, you have manual mode, but manual mode is not for everybody, especially people that are buying cell phones. It's not for everybody that's buying cell phones. Some people want a cell phone camera that they can pick up, point and shoot. This replaces the point and shoot camera is what this does. Not everybody has time to set up and shoot in manual mode. So yeah, it has manual mode, and even in manual mode, you're not going to get the best pictures out of it because what you put in manual mode on top of the hardware is just not that good. It really isn't. You'll get some really, really good shots on the wide angle lens, but other than that, the cameras disappoint me. The camera app lags all the time. Sometimes it can take up to 5 seconds to open for me. I've done factory resets. I've done everything you can think of to make this phone run smooth through the camera app. It just does not work. I don't know why, but it's disappointing in my opinion. Guys, this is a V series phone, and going back last year, the V20 was my favorite phone, and it kills me. It kills me this year. I wanted to love this phone. Even the little tweaks that they did, losing the second screen, losing the rugged build, losing the removable battery, losing the IR blaster. I forgot to mention that because the IR blaster was a big thing that I actually enjoyed, and they took it away. I think the V series, as in the V20 and the V10, were built to the tilt with everything you could get. This thing, not so much. That front camera should never be put on a phone of $800. Shouldn't be put on a phone. Phones of $500. Look at the OnePlus 5T. Has a 60 megapixel front-facing camera that is probably better than the rear-facing camera on this one. So that's a problem. LG, you need to step your game up. I'm very disappointed in this phone. You guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think of it. My personal opinion and I've used this phone. I waited a long time to put this review out because I wanted to give it its due justice. I factory reset it. I picked up another phone, and I've had the same issues. I don't know how other people aren't seeing it, but I've had these issues. Anyways, guys, I wanted to go over the whole thing for you guys and let you know what I thought of it. The cameras really disappoint me, and that's the main thing that really, brought this phone down for me. Battery life, just to throw it in there quick, battery life is great on this phone. 3,300 milliamp hour battery, and battery-wise optimized, it works great. It's a nice battery. I get anywhere from 4 as high as 6 hours of screen on time. Screen on time is not the tell-all of battery life. Everybody uses their phone differently. It's just, something people throw out there. But it can be different for anybody. You might be able to get 7 hours on screen on time because you get no background stuff used and whatever you're doing, no Wi-Fi, whatever it is, it can change so much. The smallest little things, what you got running in the background will change so much. What apps you're running, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, guys, this is a long video. I know you're probably not going to be happy with it, but I had a lot to say about this. I really wanted to give you the details on this phone. I'm not happy with it, guys. I would not buy it at this price. If you guys are looking for an LG phone, you're a big LG person, grab the G6. It's a great phone at a great price, and I think it's got better cameras than this. I'll go on record saying it definitely has better cameras than this. Even the front 5 megapixel front camera on the LG G6, I think is a better camera. I have a video dropping, probably next week sometime because I'll be shooting it this week and I'll be editing it and stuff. It's going to be tough because we just got hit with a lot of snow, but I'm doing a camera comparison between the LG V30 and the LG G6 just to show you guys the difference. And hopefully, it works out to show you guys that, and we'll see. We'll see what happens when I drop that video. Anyways, guys, hit that like button, subscribe. I've been loving all my subscribers. The subscribers is going up, and I appreciate all of you guys. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.